A very good morning to you, dear listener, and welcome to Perspectives, a current affairs discussion program on Agate Radio, 95.5 Star FM, Makudi, Benue State. Our subject of discussion on Perspectives this morning is a World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, which is observed on July 30 every year, and yesterday, as designated by the United Nations, the day was observed. The issue of trafficking in persons has been a burning issue across continents and also in Nigeria, in Africa, and in Nigeria in particular. The International Labour Organization statistics estimates that about 300,000 children are taken from around the world and sold by human traffickers as slaves, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime global report. The regions such as Sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean bear a disproportionate burden, with children making up to 60% of detected trafficking victims. In Nigeria, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime reveals that an estimated 750,000 to 1 million Nigerians, including children, are trafficked every year. This cause for serious concern, and Benue here too has been in the news bearing the brunt of human trafficking issues. This is why this subject matter is very important for us to interrogate. I've been joined here on Perspectives by the Public Relations Officer, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Makudi Zonal Command. Mrs. Tokwasi Yaji is our guest on the program. Welcome to Perspectives, Mrs. Yaji.
Thank you, Nat, for having me. Good morning, listeners.
I am Nathaniel Nongu, welcoming you to this Wednesday edition of Perspectives. If this is your first time tuning in, kindly be informed that it is an audience participatory program which takes the air between now and 11 a.m. and usually at 10 o'clock. We open the telephone lines for you to call in and also share thoughts with us on the subject matter we are discussing. You can do so by reaching us on the number 0814-335-9292. 0814-335-9292. Send us an SMS or a chat to WhatsApp on 0912-699-9404. 0912-699-9404. You may also listen to Agate Radio by logging onto our website on www.agateradiotv.com, or go to Google Play Store and download the Agate Radio and TV app, which is a one-stop app that serves you for listening to the radio, reading our newspaper, as well as watching the television online. You can access it from Google Play Store. If you have your Radio Garden app device on any device at all, you can also listen to Agate Radio. This program and all our content are also available on our social media pages on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter. We are available streaming this program on all these platforms to serve you. Do well to join us. Mrs. Yaji, I'd like to begin. Let's start with a background of what the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons means.
Thank you very much, Nat. I'd like to let you know that the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, which was set aside annually to create awareness on the ills and dangers of trafficking, and also create awareness for people to know that this inhuman act is around us and it's not far, is generally a day set aside to create awareness and to create awareness to the general public on the issues of human trafficking.
All right, create awareness on the issues of human trafficking, and in an essence, narrowed specifically. When we talk about human trafficking, what are those things that easily come to mind?
Okay, when you talk about human trafficking has like three elements, which is the act, the means, the purpose. The act involves the recruitment, then the means, through which means victims are being carried through transportation, through the form of threats, through the form of coercion, and for what purpose? For one purpose, which is the purpose of exploitation. So, generally, human trafficking is the recruitment of persons, transportation of persons, transfer, harboring, recipients of persons, through the means of threats, the use of force, coercion, adoption, fraud, deception, abuse of power or vulnerability, and for the purpose of exploitation.
All right, and some of these that you outlined, we have it very much around us in Nigeria and in Benue. Give us an understanding of what is the situation in Benue in particular.
For Benue State, we have various forms of human trafficking that is going on. Um, predominantly, we have uh, labor exploitation and trafficking for sexual exploitation. We also have trafficking for baby sales. Baby sales is just a new trend that is coming up. And then most recently, we have um, trafficking for sexual exploitation to other neighboring countries, which you are aware of the recent 5 girls that NAPTIP Makurdi Zonal Command rescued and were brought back.
All right, you mentioned I'm aware of that. Not too much. I only saw snippets of it on social media. Help us speak more on that so that Benue people we understand the gravity of these around us.
Yes, I would like to let the Benue people know that our girls, our children are being trafficked every day to other neighboring countries. And we also have cases and reports from from various local governments, parents reporting that my children have left and we don't know where they are. And I would like to also let the Benue people know that recruitment is done within our communities. Recruitment is not done far from us, it's just within us. We should be able to pinpoint those people who are recruiting our children out of the state who are not far from us. These are indicators that traffickers are not far from us, they are very close to us. And we should be very vigilant about trafficking activities happening around us.
All right, recruitment done within us. This particular episode you mentioned, I'd like us to delve deeper into it. It was on social media, as I mentioned, I saw snippets of it that Benue ladies or girls, so to say, were trafficked to Libya, right? And you said now Libya,
No, not Libya, Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire. Okay, which is why I want you to expand better to help us. So you said they have been rescued. The person responsible has he or she been arrested?
Yes, you all know that our very active donor commander, when she got the hint that this was happening, she quickly went into investigation and where the girl was arrested, and the girls were rescued back. The 5 girls were rescued back to Benue State, and I would like to let you know that. The lady who facilitated the travels of this girl had been convicted. Conviction came out last week, and the girls have been rescued and back to the shelter, where they went through some medical checks and also some counseling and rehabilitation process.
All right. Now, what specifically are the factors fueling this whole crisis of human trafficking, especially around us here in Benue?
The agency have we have noticed that there are some most importantly 2 major factors: the pull and push factor, For the push factors, we will outline the less access to information, disruption of support system, traditional community attitude. You know that in those days we had rules in every homes had rules. Traditional rulers were seen like um like that superpower that will give an order and everybody will listen. But these days, we know that parents are willingly giving out children for trafficking activities. Anybody that comes to them, please, I need one of your child. Please, let's go. Give her a job, or we'll take her to school. They give without asking or without following up one or two things about the person they have given out the child to. And we also have the pull factors, which the increase in demand for foreign workers. You see, girls are being taken from Benue all to Cote d'Ivoire, to Ghana, to Mali to go and work. Why we need their labor in Benue State, not in the neighboring countries. We have the lack of devaluation of women and children and human rights. This makes human trafficking generally is a human right violation. And so all these factors put together, and we'll talk about poverty. I don't want to talk about poverty because if you talk about poverty, we have schools that are free, if not free, but we have schools that pay stipends to take children to school. So if we're giving out our children to someone else or to a neighboring state so that someone else can pay their school fees, while we have schools here lying down, will you tell me that poverty is the issue? Or will you say we have farmlands? Benue have a big land, vast land, so we have farmlands to even farm and sell our produce to take back our children to school. So I don't really like saying poverty is one of the causes, but the few that I mentioned, it's some of the causes.
Okay, why you don't like to say poverty is a factor? Perhaps help us understand how parents can navigate between coping with poverty and not getting their children or what exposed to activities of human traffickers.
I think basically parents need to up their game by highlighting the basic needs of their children. When I say basic needs, then basic needs remain food, right to good health, right to good school, right to education. That's education. So we have government schools around. We have the UBE schools, and I feel that their school fees is not much. So parents can navigate that in that level to assess education for their children. And when I say poverty, it's not really what I think it is, because number one, you will agree with me that Benue have vast land that these parents can. We have farmers, so why won't we go into farming and make sure that we sell our produce to take our children to school, than give another person to take care of our children for us, because our children are fully responsibility. If you have someone to take care of your child, let the person provide the finances while you take that child to school, and the child should be under your watch.
Very well. Let's dive into the activities of syndicates, because it is alleged that these traffickers operate as syndicates in our communities. What kind of activities, strategies they apply that you would like to expose so our people become more aware of the challenge?
The syndicates work they all have their roles. We have the ones on ground who recruit these girls. They know the ones that are vulnerable. They know the ones that want to really go out and make, okay, that's vulnerability, and they know the ones that are potential victims, which they'll recruit to first. There's recruitment. There's one person on ground recruiting those girls. Second, there's transportation. There must be a bike and a Okada man or a keke napep man, or there must be someone who transports them to town or to the parks. Now they know that most of the motor parks have been sensitized by NAPTIP. So what they do now, they don't go with the girls. Then they used to move in clusters, but now they don't again. They put you here, they put you in another park, or then there's someone who is receiving you from the destination point. And when the person receives you, there's another person that will receive you from the stop point. That's where your activity starts. So it's a large syndicate. Before you get the recruiter, before you get the transporter, before you get the person that will receive them from a certain point, before the stopping point, you have arrested like maybe 10 people.
So, besting the syndicates, what has NAPTIP been doing with regards to besting these syndicates now that their strategies have, so to say, been unveiled or detected?
NAPTIP has been working tirelessly to make arrests, and investigations take place. You know that NAPTIP is a one-stop agency. We have the investigation and monitoring department, where they go for surveillance, mount surveillance in various communities, various locations, to be able to know the kind of activities going on in those areas where maybe information have reached us, and the fight against human trafficking is not just for NAPTIP alone. It's everybody's business, because if you see something, you need to say something. NAPTIP is not everywhere, but if through awareness creation, you know a little bit of human trafficking activities, and you report issues on human trafficking around you, NAPTIP makes sure they make sure they go for surveillance investigation around the area that is being reported, and pick the people who are involved in various parts of the process of human trafficking.
All right, for us at Agate Radio, we consider ourselves as stakeholders in the fight against trafficking, which is why even this program is part of what we are coming up with. But help us understand the level of community engagement with a kind of multi-stakeholder engagement you've been having over time with regards to sensitizing people on the dangers of human trafficking and also exposing the activities of human traffickers.
And NAPTIP have had a lot of engagement and sensitization, community engagement, and also sensitization with community leaders. And you are aware that NAPTIP has the Benue State Anti-Human Trafficking in task force, which comprises of CSO, the Ministry of Justice, all the stakeholders, MDAs, law enforcement agencies. They will work together with them to be able to synergize and come together for the fight against human trafficking. In the community levels, NAPTIP have worked with community leaders, traditional rulers, and they are aware. Most cases that come up, you see traditional rulers calling, there's something up here, we need NAPTIP to come and check. And then other stakeholders like the Benue State Task Force, they are on ground. And the task force is chaired by the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. And The co-chair remains the zonal commander, NAPTIP, Makodi Zonal Command. So with these efforts of the task force and also other robust engagement like community engagement, NAPTIP has really created awareness. And also the media is not left out, is a strong tool for creating awareness on the issues of human trafficking. And that is that.
Okay, when you got to the media, I thought you will bring Agate Radio in, but
Yes, I agree.
you landed by
I get radio is we are strong partners. There's no time that you don't call us up for sensitization on the issues of human trafficking or issues surrounding child labor, child abuse, and the rest. And we really appreciate Agate Radio for that, because the media, no doubt, is a tool for curbing this menace. And if we don't partner with the media, then we aren't doing anything. So we thank you very much for always lending the hand of partnership and to create awareness on issues of human trafficking.
All right, that is the philosophy of Agate Radio. Anything that is about the people, we are really concerned. And this is an issue that concerns not just Benue people, Nigerians in general. So we are really concerned.
And the world at large.
Absolutely. So our philosophy of being the people's voice is why we try to look in this direction. But again, let's go to part of the stakeholders. The transporters are very central, because you mentioned the point of recruitment and even exit. They go through transport facilities. What is the level of engagement at that level?
NAPTIP has engaged most importantly the National Union of Road Transport Workers. We had some engagement with them, with the CSOB Benue, the civil society organization in Benue State. We had a meeting with them to let them know these indices, and then we also have partnership with Benue Links, of which and they have reported so much cases. In fact, part of the task force, so they are on the road. So we have been able to train them on how to identify a situation of trafficking on the roads. And so stakeholders, Nigerian Union of Road Transport, Benue Links, part of them, the road safety, we've been working with them through curbing this menace on the way.
All right, given that this fight needs to be really holistic, have you at any point in time gave a thought to taking this sensitization to school communities, campuses, and even secondary schools?
Yes, NAPTIP have had schools engagement in the past years, and even now we're still doing some school sensitization. For the World Day Against Trafficking came at a point where schools are not in section, but schools have once they come back, we have some awareness creation to go take to schools. And most importantly, I want to let you know that there's a project that will be running through all schools, and very soon it will be starting very soon, and awareness creation in schools will be much more. And we like to let you know that NAPTIP have established anti-human trafficking vanguards in schools. We are at the pilot stage where Federal Vandika, Federal Boko, we have clubs in Federal Vandika, we have in Federal Boko. We also have in Command Day and also Command Secondary Schools here in Makodi.
All right, dear listener, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to Perspectives on Agate Radio 95.5 Star FM Makodi. We are discussing the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, and leading the discussion here in the studio is the Public Relations Officer of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Makodi Zonal Command, Mrs. Tokwasi Yaji. You can participate on the program later at 10 o'clock by calling in on 0814-335-9292, 0814 335 9292. Send us an SMS or a chat on WhatsApp to the line 0912 699 9404. 0912 699 9404. The line for SMS and WhatsApp chat is already activated. Please remember to include your name and where you are sending the message from. Log on to our website on www.agateradiotv.com to also listen to us there live. You may also download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store, a one-stop app that is very simple to navigate, to listen to the radio, also read a newspaper and watch the television. It serves you for all these purposes. Follow all our social media pages on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter. We are available on all these platforms to serve you. You may also listen to Agate Radio once you have your Radio Garden app on any device at all. You can listen to Agate Radio there. Mrs. Yaji, one vulnerable community in this whole issue about human trafficking is the internally displaced persons camps, IDP camps we have then around Benue. What is the level of sensitization and engagement with this group of persons concerning the fight against human trafficking in Benue?
Well, the situation at the IDP camp, it's a very sorry situation, but I know that the NAPTIP Makurdi Zonal Command, we have carried activities there and also partner with other stakeholders to carry activities. And I would like to let you know that during the lineup of activities of the World Day Against Human Trafficking, one part of the activity was to sensitize in the IDP camp and have a clinic where counseling to be taking place there. And we were able to go to the IDP, particularly the OTC IDP camp last week with some task force members, where we had a group discussion with various groups. We had group discussion with the women, the men, and the children also, because they were not left out, to discuss issues of human trafficking. And it will beat that there were a lot of, they said a lot of things, there were a lot of cases recorded. And so we also like to let you know that NAPTIP partners with Bensema for issues of human trafficking on the IDPs. So any case, and also Foundation for Justice, Development and Peace, that's FJDP. We partner with them on the issues of human trafficking on the IDP and also on the refugee camp.
Okay, but have you at any point in time detected specific cases of human trafficking in the IDP camps, and what is their nature?
We have cases coming from the IDP camp, but most times their nature is for labor exploitation and also sexual exploitation. I mentioned here the last time that in 2021 some girls were moved from the IDP to Kwara for sexual exploitation, and the case was a success story because the girls refused to involve themselves and they had to find their way through by the help of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, they were brought back, and NAPTIP was able to investigate that case and then carry out some sensitization again. And some reports on the IDP camps are mostly for child labor, people going to the IDP camp to get children. I need this child, should come stay with me so that I will pay their school fees. Sometimes it's not that. So if someone travels all the way from Benin to come and get a child from Benue to go and pay the school fees, in Benin, is it not better the person gives you the school fees for you to pay the child's school fees in Benue here? Because of course we have schools. Those are the messages we carry on the IDPs, and we would like to let them know that their situation is not the one that they will have to sell their children, that they should be vigilant and also know that the only person who can take care of their children is themselves.
All right. Now, the issue of baby factory is one area that keep reoccurring across Nigeria. We read it, we see it in the news almost every occasion. What is the experience in Benue State?
We have issues of baby sales in Benue, and the agency have arrested some cases of baby sales in here, and the cases are in court for now.
All right. The cases are in court. With regards to the baby sales, when you mention that it occurs in the IDP camps, one wonders how the nature of it that it comes. Does it mean it's a deliberate act by the persons in the IDP camps, or what exactly is the nature?
If you listen to my definition of human trafficking, the first question you ask,
Yes.
you will notice that traffickers come with deception. They must deceive you. They see that you are vulnerable to this situation. If somebody is at the IDP camp and someone comes in and says, please, give me this child, I will help you with this child. Looking at the situation at the IDP, you might believe, you will believe the person that if I give this child, at least one child has been taken from me, I will rest. So they come with the deceptive and promises of which they are not true. So deception is one thing that traffickers come with to deceive the vulnerable population to be able to fall prey to their activities.
All right. So, what kind of those strategies that people need to watch out in order not to fall prey? Parents and guardians.
First of all, let's start with the children, because World Day Against Trafficking team this year is Leave No Child Behind in the fight against human trafficking. Let's let our children know that there is no free gift anywhere. Traffickers come with gifts like sweets, biscuits to lure them. Ask them questions around, is your mother around? Is your father around? And children, by the time you give them biscuits, you give them sweets, you give them, what they want once or twice, they'll tell you all the stories that you did not even ask them. So with children, that is how it starts. And also with our young girls, that's how it starts. Recruiters come first, they buy you mirror, powder. And this man is buying me mirror, buying me powder. Okay, he has said, okay, he will take me, I'll go and walk somewhere. So if he's giving me these gifts now, by the time he takes me to go and work there, then that means, yes, really, there will be salary for me and there will be work for me. So deception in giving out things, they deceive you by giving you gifts. There's that gift deception to lure you to so that you can be recruited.
Okay, so parents need to watch out for this and also sensitize their children. All right, let's look at another angle to it. Apart from the deception, particularly on the aspects of children, are there categories of children of certain ages that are more prone to this between the male and a female child? Are there variations with regards to those who are more prone?
Yes, trafficking happens between male and female, but most especially for females. Females are the percentage for females are higher than the male, but that doesn't mean that males are not being trafficked. They are trafficked too. So for the male, most especially, they are being trafficked for labor exploitation. And also, there's what they use them for again is organ harvesting. Male are used for organ harvesting too.
All right, organ harvesting. This is a serious one. And in what forms? I remember just to use this as a backgrounder to buttress this. I remember I attended a seminar, and some speakers, resource persons at the seminar. It was about football. It was about sports development. Someone mentioned at the seminar that sometimes people who come in the name of scouting as sport agents, they take people overseas, and organ harvesting is part of what is done. Is this the same approach that traffickers also deploy?
That is the approach traffickers use. They come for football thing. As they say, they came to recruit young boys to play football for them, and then also for excursion. Children, you see schools taking children for excursion, and we are not comfortable with that. For any school that is taking their children for excursion abroad, NAPTIP is aware of that. Embassies call us to find out that if we have gone, they go through screening before you take any child abroad for excursion.
Good enough. A good point you raised there, the excursion. Do we have schools in Benue that are practicing that? And when they embark on such excursions, is there proper documentation done with NAPTIP and the relevant authorities?
Yes, in 2013, we had a situation where a school in Boko were going to London. Yes, I think, yes, London. And the UK embassy had to write to our headquarters, then to the Makurdi Zonal Command Office, for us to go and do a background check on why are they going, is there any school like that, and all that. So we all some staff were delegated to go there and found out, but it was really an excursion, and they went through screening. Parents were even asked to give their consent for that trip.
And it was actually consented. It went successful.
Yes,
no
it
issues.
did. It went successful. No issues. They came back.
All right. So, which is why I raised an issue earlier about schools' engagement. Like, are they just government or private schools who are into this? And what is the level of engagement with the proprietors of schools on the importance of doing this? It may not be excursions within that. I mean, beyond the shores of Nigeria alone, some could be within, but the tendency of such happening is likely.
Yes, for now, the ones within, we have not really engaged them in some sort of screening, because they don't sleep over for the excursion. They go in the morning and come back like before 2 p.m., but with an accompanied adult with them. So we don't have issues for that now, but like I told you, there's a project for schools now, and all those issues will be tailored into the curriculum, and awareness will be created on that.
All right. Let's talk about orphanages, a place where you have children predominantly available. Is there any engagement you've had with the operators of these orphanages to sensitize them on the dangers of human trafficking and even the strategies that the traffickers could deploy to guarantee the safety of children in these orphanages?
Yes, NAPTIP has had engagement with orphanages, and most recently they had their annual conference in Benue State, and the zonal commander was there to sensitize them. Uh, Annual conference, I think the North Central Orphanage Home owners, they had an annual conference earlier this year, and the zonal commander was there to sensitize them and to let them know that the activities of their homes are being monitored by NAPTIP.
Do you actually monitor their activities?
We monitor their activities.
So their level of operation, are you satisfied with the ones maybe operating in Benue? some of our major towns, do they have a proper documentation with you? You have a stock of the number of children they have in these orphanages, and should anything happen, how they could be traced and all of that.
The issues of orphanage homes is predominantly with the Ministry of Women Affairs, and NAPTIP work with Women Affairs to get all those data.
All right, we'll go along. Listener, once again, to remind you, at 10 o'clock, we'll open the line for you to call in. Already the line for SMS and WhatsApp chat is activated for you to contribute. You can do so by reaching the number on 0912 699 9404. 0912 699 9404. Remember to include your name and where you are sending your message from. Mrs. Yaji, in terms of statistics between this year and maybe half of it, have you had number of arrests and prosecutions that you have done concerning issues relating to human trafficking in Benue that you would like to avail Benue people?
Yes, there are statistics, but for me, I am not directed to avail the Benue people with statistics, except the zonal commander will do that.
All right. It's okay. It could be your official protocol of operation.
Yes, it is.
It's all right. We hope that you may eventually convey this to the zonal commander that Benue people are interested in knowing what she's doing.
Oh, why not? She will avail you with that.
It's all right.
Yes.
It's okay. That's fine. But predominantly, let's go back to community engagement. What is the level of your presence in communities? Do you have the manpower across the 23 local government areas of Benue State, or you are just operating in Makurdi, the state capital?
We don't have the manpower to operate in the 23 local governments in Benue State. We operate in the state capital. But I like to let you know that partnership is key, one of the key strategies in fighting and curbing these menace. So we partner with a lot of NGOs, a lot of CSO who are in the community-based organization who partner with us in curbing this menace and in creating awareness. So if in a situation where those partners have issues, they reach out to us for us to come for quick interventions.
Okay, so your partnership with CSOs is predominantly what you are depending on for your presence in the grassroots communities.
For now, yes, because with time, NAPTIP will have DEX officers in each of the 23 local governments. We're working on that.
Okay, but operating in Makurdi as a state capital, what are the flashpoints local government based on your partnership with the CSOs that you're operating with, the identifiable flashpoints of local governments where issues of human trafficking are on the rise?
For Benue State now, I would like to say that if not for all the 23 local government, but I will say the red flag local government remains Gwe West. We have Goma, we have Kum. We have, even here in Makurdi is a flashpoint because we have cases of, if not cases of trafficking to neighboring countries, but cases of child labor and abuse are a lot within the Makurdi town. As awareness is being created, we are still receiving cases day in, day out of child abuse. And we have Conshisha. Conshisha is one of our flashpoints. Again, red flag local government. We have Boko, Taka.
All right. So, what are you doing to maybe we are worried that your manpower. Kwande is also part of it. Okay. So, these identifiable flashpoints, are you doing anything in particular to intensify the fight in these flashpoints?
Yes, we are doing a lot to intensify our presence in those local governments through the help of community engagement, and also liaising with the local government chairman for the need to be strengthened security around there, and also um, CSO using them to create awareness, as well as us going there periodically to create awareness.
All right. When you mentioned predominantly what the male child is being trafficked for, enslaved labor, forced labor, so to say, child labor is also part of it. It is in public domain that within Nigeria here, people are trafficked to certain parts of the country, especially the southwest, what they call kurumi, uh, uh, working on plantations, cocoa plantations, and all of that. Is there anything NAPTIP is doing with regards to addressing that particular challenge within? This one is an issue of trafficking within.
And it is yes, trafficking within, because they are moved in large mass every year, or every will I say every year. There's a place they say they move them every market day. And because NAPTIP was aware of it, we went there, we sensitized with the road transport workers, and they were aware of how this movement is being carried out. They have stopped using that particular park in that market. So NAPTIP will continue to intensify sensitization. We'll keep making noise about it, but very impactful noise, because traffickers derive new measures all the time to be able to get one or two human beings to sell.
One or two human beings to say. So human beings have become commodities
Yes,
that
by
are
traffickers, yes.
which is why we're here to expose the traffickers. Because for us, as you regarded us, and we consider ourselves as stakeholders, our aim is to achieve zero trafficking in Benue, to see how we can support NAPTIP from our end at Agate Radio to intensify the fight. So, if human beings are now being sold like commodities, what can we do to bring more spotlight on traffickers to ensure there's no hiding place for them in Benue and even their syndicates?
Like I told you earlier, the fight against human trafficking is not just for NAPTIP alone. It needs a collective effort for all law enforcement agencies and CSO, as well as the media. We need to come up together, to even parents, community leaders. We need to come out together to say that there should be a stop to human trafficking in Benue State at all levels, because those recruiting should be brought to book. They should be investigated, prosecuted, and brought to book, to make known that yes, what you are doing is highly and intensified evil to human being. It's a crime to another human being, and it's a violation to another person's human rights. So we need to intensify awareness at all levels, so that we will reduce this crime, and people will be able to identify indices used by traffickers.
All right, which is exactly what we are doing here very passionately with you at the end. Okay, for the female child or the girl child, you mentioned sexual exploitation. Are there within, are there concerns about this same girl child that is being exploited sexually in terms of activities of human traffickers beyond, I mean, within Nigeria, within and around us, Nigeria, not beyond the shores of Nigeria?
Yes, sexual exploitation takes place within Nigeria, as well as abroad, as well as trafficking, as well as outside Nigeria also. So we have young girls working in brothels. People come to sleep with them. We are not against prostitution, but we're against the exploitation of prostitution, which are children. So, and a child is anybody who is from zero to 17 years. So, if you find a child in a brothel doing what she does not know what it's all about, you have to rescue that child. Because for us, a child cannot give consent to that. Somebody is somewhere there pushing her to do it and collecting money on her behalf. NAPTIP is going to come after you if they find out that.
Okay, the reason why I brought up that question, for instance, like the viral video which we saw on social media, these were maybe largely teenage girls. The person at the end interviewing them was asking what they were doing in that country, and they gave a narration that they were brought there convinced that they will come and do work, but when they came, eventually they were forced into commercial sex work, so to say. Right. So, in such situations, you go after the offenders, rescue the victims. What happens to the victim when they are rescued eventually?
The victims are brought to the shelter for medical check and also counseling and possible rehabilitation. But there they are mapped out for their various skills acquisition, what they want to do. If they want to go back to school, NAPTIP partners with one or two persons that they will go back to school. If they want skills acquisition, NAPTIP empowers them for skills acquisition. And for follow-up, we follow up for the victims so that they will make sure they are not trafficked and or they have decided to sell their empowerment kits, because we had situation where some of them go, if they are not properly monitored, they go back sell their empowerment kits. So with this, NAPTIP have derived a measure to monitor them periodically, and also their parents, creating the awareness, because when you are doing a counseling and rehabilitation, because their parents too has to be involved, because the trauma is not just on the child but also on the parents. If I hear that my child has been sleeping with 10 men in a day, I'll be crazy, because if I see her, what goes through my mind? I need to the parent need to be counseled also, as well as the victim. So counseling takes place gradually, and then rehabilitation, and then skills and empowerment at the end of it.
When you mention the word trauma, even though I have not been directly involved, I could experience trauma in the studio already.
Yes.
Because giving a graphic illustration of what occurs just is a bit disgusting. But in any case, do you have the personnel for the counseling, or you engage people in terms of managing the trauma?
Well, I would like to let you know that NAPTIP is a one-stop agency where we have investigation and monitoring, we have the legal and prosecution, we have counseling and rehabilitation. And counseling is a whole package on its own. Shelter is there. The shelter has a shelter manager, we have the matron, we have counselors all there. We don't engage outsiders to come counsel in our shelter. We are already trained officers there, and also we have a nurse who provides the first aid for victims before going to the hospital.
All right. Briefly, we will go outside the scope of trafficking about issues of sexual and gender-based violence, which is also part of your mandate that you pursue vigorously. Give us an understanding of what has been the experience in Benue.
Well, the issue of sexual and gender-based violence in Benue, NAPTIP, it is not mandated to prosecute cases of gender-based violence. The VAP Act is domiciled at the Ministry of Women Affairs. You can report cases of GBV with us, but we'll refer to Ministry of Women Affairs. GBV is on the increase in Benue State. There is no 10 persons that you ask that will not tell you one person among them is violated. It has a case to report. And we also know that GBV is violence against person. In a simple term, it's violence against person. And violence against persons, is another violation of human rights, just like human trafficking. So these cases come every day, but for referral purposes, we refer them to Ministry of Women Affairs, which they are domiciled with the Violence Against Persons Act.
Okay. Speak to us briefly about doing this job for NAPTIP, the Makudi Zonal Command. Specific challenges you have encountered and how government and the public could assist in helping solve some of these challenges.
Well, I've been in the job for a while now, and it's not the road. It sounds easy, but it's not easy, because most times we have a logistics problem where we need a car for rescue, and we need a car to take the victims to the hospital, and the car for lawyers are going to court to represent the victim, and also NAPTIP in the court. And you see logistic problems are there. And apart from that, I think we have partners that do a lot for us also, and working together. I know that if partners like the media, if I say I will come and pay airtime now, it will be so much. And with power like this, is just to have the opportunity to create awareness, to let the general public know that yes, human trafficking is real, it's near us, it's not just far from us. If it's not happening to you today, but maybe someday, and we should make sure that our words are properly sensitized on how to respond to gifts that come from people around them. And let me tell you, trafficking is the person who traffics you is the person who knows you, and the person who violates you, like GBV cases, is people who know you. You find cases that uncles are touching cousins in the house. Most times these acts are perpetrated by people who know you. So we should find time to create awareness even in our homes, so that they know that yes, these are human rights violations. When you do it, you are going to be locked up, and when you do it, and you are going to be shamed in the society. So you have to be very careful.
Very well. We hope the parents and guardians are listening and they may act appropriately. But as part of addressing your challenges, in my future money, not my current money, my future money, I'm going to buy you one logistics car.
Thank you very much.
That's for my personal money, not for Agate Radio.
Okay. Okay.
It's okay. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I would like to also leave hotlines, because after saying so much, if we don't leave a referral or reporting process, it will not help.
Yes. Before we conclude the program, we'll certainly do that. I'll
Okay.
put that on the note for us to get a hotline across. It's about time for us to engage with those listening to us, because we have the phone lines buzzing already. The number to call is 0814-335-9292. 0814-335-9292. Once you connect with us, tell us your name and where you're calling in from. Move away from your radio set so we don't have to have a hallback effect on the program. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to Perspectives.
You speak with Utswa Isaac from Gomaye.
Okay, Isaac, good to have you join us.
Okay. Human trafficking is an act of selling humans for monetary gains. However, it will be a welcome development if the NAPTIP and other governmental agencies make more policies that will suffice government at work to stand against the marauding. Thank you, sir.
All right, Isaac, thank you very much. We appreciate you for calling in. Thank you. Isaac from EA says NAPTIC should make policies. Anyway, the NAPTIC has an enabling policy already, so we hope they act better. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, this is Simon from the street Makodi.
Simon, who, please?
Agate from the street Makodi.
Okay, Simon Azage, I didn't hear which part of Makudi because maybe the network.
Bija Street.
Bija Street. Which part of Makudi?
Yes. Close to Rahama Clinic.
Okay, that's Banada Quarters. I think so.
Banada Quarters, yes.
Okay, go ahead, Simon.
Yes. I want to thank the guest in the house for her impactful message concerning this issue. It's a big issue we have been tackling, and I want to thank you for your efforts over these years concerning trafficking. It happens that one of the girls that were trafficked to Cote d'Ivoire, one is my sister, Dobe. And in fact, I want to encourage NAPTIC to take this awareness down to our parents. You know, I want to categorically say that lady, which happened to be my sister, was suffering from parental care. And I think that led her to involve herself, get in touch with that lady that trafficked them to Cote d'Ivoire. I think I was privileged to work with one of the sisters. At the point, the parents thought I was coming in between them to cater for or take care of their sister. And they left the lady, and she's wasted now. So I want to encourage our parents to come together, notwithstanding the issues we are passing through now, and with the poverty level, and the rest. Parents should inculcate morals into their children, not allowing them to take decisions on their own, which have effect in their life in time. Thank you for this program.
Thank you, Simon Azage. We appreciate you for sharing that experience with us. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah. All right. Here we have a first-hand information, but in any case, Simon, well, it's fine that you didn't mention the full name. NAPTIP would not have accepted that, but that's okay.
I was almost saying it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Nathaniel, Dondove James from APA in Boko local government of Benue State.
All right, Dondove, how is Akpai this morning?
It's cool.
All right,
it's a market day today.
Go ahead.
Yes, my greetings to the guest with you in the studio. She has spoken very well, and we are just encouraging them to do more because they are helping matters a lot. You see, this is an area that all eyes have to be focused because these traffickers, they use different measures which, if not well monitored, one we just pray for them. You know, it happened to me like in 1989 precisely. I was sleeping in my room with one of my younger brothers. This guy, around 4 o'clock in the morning, he just went out quietly. He met these people. By 10 in the morning, one of the drivers here in Napa just told me that he has taken my brother to, you know, the headquarters of Gwewetat Naka, yes, and where they were to be loaded to the southwest, where they call Kulmi. So I was just surprised. This guy left without telling me anything. This guy came around in Nepal, was buying for people, you know, in a like beer parlor. He will order for all. In all joints, he will clear all for people. And he was like trying to, you know, show people that there is money where he was coming from. So this, my brother, he took ill there but was forced to work, and he worked, and you know, when they discovered that he cannot have the power to work again, they transported him back, but he couldn't stand the ailment, and he was gone. This is why I have a passionate hatred for traffickers. It pained me, but now that people are aware, once you started this program, I started telling my younger children, my little kids here, that they should listen and listen well, because people will come with biscuits, will come with all sorts of things and try to ask them questions and all that. At the end of the day, there will be traffic and all that. So the person in charge of native that is with you there should sensitize people more, and we, the parents, we have a lot of work to do so that this thing will be drastically eliminated. Thank you so much.
Donovan James, thank you. We appreciate you for sharing this experience with us. We hope people will learn from it, apart from what we are discussing here in the studio as well. Thank you so much, Donovan. Good morning and welcome to
Good
Perspectives.
morning. Good morning, Mr. Nat.
Morning to you.
Daniel Tona from your game here, Makodi.
Okay, good to have you join us, Daniel.
I really want to appreciate you so much because this trafficking thing, I don't know, but sometimes, as the discussant in the studio says, sometimes the thing will affect mostly our brothers and our sisters that are suffering in the village. So that sometimes you will know somebody will come and convince you, we took your loved one, your children, that I go and pay him or her fees. At the end of the day, they will turn into something else. But the truth of the matter is, now, thank God, all the awareness is almost everywhere now. Even the ADT cap now, it's not any hard that you go and convince them. But this thing, we shall still doing it, we shall still enlightening them. I want to advise, sometimes if you advise this thing, people will likely to take it that you say that it's not born birth. I'm not saying that people should stop giving birth. But you see, sometimes, let's say the fact, sometimes you can see a family that hardly fed, will be having about 10 or 11 children. So tell me, Nathan, tell me, Nathan, if somebody like that nature, that is the village that have about 15 children or even 10 children, that I come that, please, oh, give me, let me go and train your children. Tell me how that man will not be convinced. But if you told them, they will say that you are the Lord, the God said that we should born and feed the world. So let us minimize the word that will give birth. That's the kind of the suggestion. Oh, thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Okay, Daniel, thank you. We appreciate you. It's okay. It's not in any way to rationalize what could be responsible. We're only trying to find solutions. So for Daniel, the challenge of poverty should be properly managed. But poverty shouldn't be an excuse, as we mentioned earlier, as the discussant too stated earlier. It shouldn't be an excuse at all to predispose our children to being trafficked. Hello, good morning. Hello. Oh, we lost connection with that caller. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Morning to you. Welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you, sir. My name is Mr. Jairus Otumala, calling from high level.
All right, good to have you join us on Perspectives, Jairus Otumola.
Thank you. I thank your guest very well. If I spoke and enlightened us, I really appreciate her job and all the people surrounding her, and also to Agate Radio.
Thank you, sir.
My suggestion and advice, you see, when you bring a partner, all these NGO and other people to come and talk to some parents, after it's said and done, if you say how much did you bring for us, they may not take your word as much as if this matter should go to traditional ruler, go to a particular local government, pick the first class chief and all his cabinet, address them very well. And they have a way of passing this information down to the last human being in that village or in that local government. Our chief says, don't do this. Those village people value such statement that they say government say, don't do this. If you do this, they will catch you. If they catch you, they go lock you. You go sell. You go. Don't say it doesn't move them. But what moved them is your my community leader say, don't do this. And if you do this, this is the repercussion. And that is where you have to make use of the traditional order very, very well. The second group you are going to make use of is can. You see can. If you go to every village in Benue State, particularly village, I don't know other places, but I know Benue State. Every woman is a church member, belongs to one group of church or the other, belongs to one denominations or the other. So, and they have can down to the last churches in that village, in that community. So if you can say, this is what I want, don't do this, can pass it through their pastors, their reverends, and their imam, and the rest down to the last person in the community. So as you try as much as you can, I'm still appealing or begging, please to go back and make use of those two groups in our rural area. Those people trafficking, they are from rural area, not although urban people are there, but not as much as those who are from the rural areas. Madam.
Thank you very much. Jairus Otomola. NAPTIP is listening. Communities and people you should engage more to drive the message. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Yeah, good morning. Agate Radio, Nat.
Good morning to you.
There's the voice of Mark. I want to be the father from Care of local government.
Mark, we are listening to you.
I want to contribute in this way. Many callers have spoken my mind. The addition to what the last caller said, the NATI should be more proactive by checking some couples, because there are some families that, based on the challenges that they used to have, don't be surprised that if the NATI cannot be checking well, there are some families that affiliate purposely with those people in this side to give out their children. Because I remember last time I heard the news that I don't want to mention the particular place and the particular name, but it was an arrangement between the husband and wife to give out their child in this regard. So we need to see I think the emergency number is very useful, because the security work without the information, it won't be easy for them to achieve a goal. But whenever there is an action like that, if you see something, you will be able to say something through the emergency line. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate you for calling in. Mark is indicting couples. But anyway, sometimes we read of it in the newspaper. But I will allow you to react to a few of these before we go on, Mrs. Yaji, especially beginning with the last concern by Mark Anwangbede. Is it true that couples, as he is alleging, I think he's talking about connivance with syndicates. Is it true? Have you had any experience like that of couples conniving with syndicates
When
to
you say
aid activities of traffickers?
yes, when you say couples, you are saying parents.
Okay, I'm just quoting
Yes,
his words. I don't
because
want to go outside of the context of his
there are
words.
some parents that have been arrested and locked up.
Okay.
Yes, on issues like this, because you can't say you don't know, and then somebody gives you money and you give your children, your child to, you will be locked up. And before the investigations are taking place, you'll be there in the holding room while we take our investigation. It happens. And then the other person who said that we should engage CAN and all that, we have engaged traditional rulers, even the Totiv, the paramount ruler, our Totiv, Professor Agate, is part of a stakeholder of fighting against trafficking. There are some cases that he personally calls that this is what is happening. They take one day and all the days, they are aware. They take Makodi, they are aware of they are part of us. Let me say that, because their ears are on ground, any reports they come up with. And also CAN is part of the stakeholders, the anti-human trafficking task force in Benue State. So CAN has a representative there, and we have sensitized through the CSOB Benue In 2022, we sensitized them during their meetings on issues of trafficking in Benue State, and NAPCAN is one of our big stakeholders. So all these NAPTIP is aware that parents, some of them aid trafficking, and if you aid trafficking, they will come for you, even though it's your child. And ignorance is not an excuse.
Okay, parents, which is to say, parents on their own volition could give out their child.
Yes, there's there's one of my sensitization I went during the International Refugee Day on the IDP. After speaking to them on GBV, a lady of 16 years came up during the counseling section that her and her sister have been mapped out for marriage. Why? That they don't have food and they needed food. And what is the bride price? What was the bride price? The bride price was a bag of guinea corn. And I followed up that case, called the parents, and I called them and I asked them, if you give out your two beautiful daughters out for marriage, for a bag of guinea corn, won't that guinea corn finish? And if it finish corn,
the farmers are rich people now. Okay, maybe that was them, but
no, yes, they are
okay.
rich people, but how with the young girl? She wants to go to school, not marriage.
Okay.
Not marriage. She wants to go to school. She doesn't even want empowerment. Yes, she knows how to make hair, but she said school come first. So we've been working with DevTrain, on how those girls will go back to school this September. And I know that they had an engagement on the IDP yesterday, so I will do a follow-up after this presentation.
It's okay. It could be one out of many cases,
of course, yes,
that may not have come to your attention yet.
Yes.
All right. We'll go along. The line is still open, 0814-335-9292, 0814-335-9292. You may send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404, 0912-699-9404. Log on to our website on www.agateradiotv.com to listen to the program, and also follow our social media pages on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter. Download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store to listen to Agate Radio there as well. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
This is Eldamba Okan.
Okay,
calling from High Level, Old Assembly Quarters, Holy Ghost Triangle. I greet all of you in the studio now and well, I'm very happy that Agate is doing very much work on this matter, because somehow, if you look deep down, you are very, very, very responsible.
Thank you.
To do this kind of work. So, I just want to say that one of the things that worries me in this our country, when I was a civil servant, we used to have what we call staff list. And this society continually seems to be unable to account for their own population. They are talking about population census year in, year out. It's over 10 years now it has not been conducted. So we hardly know who and who is in this country. So when people disappear, it is only if they are lucky to have relations that have power to locate them. Otherwise, that is me as I'm talking to you. One small daughter that I had, one day before I knew that I was hearing she was in Osogbo. And during the COVID-19, what happened? Thank God she was strong enough. Apparently she was a healthy one. So somehow, but she was pregnant. She came back. We have a Yoruba child, Rokiba. That is the name. And my daughter will speak Yoruba now as if Kikiki Kakaki. I said, hey, thank God you came back. Now I've been struggling to keep her in such a manner that, but the ambitions have already been handset, all those, they are not even sometimes related to education. They are connected to this high life of this kind of life that people are living around. The rich are living large. What about Baba? Will be his pensioner? Will how many years they owe me? I no fit get the thing. What can I do? How can I get you all those things? iPhone, this and that.
Okay.
When it comes credit. So the sensitization, the only thing I want to talk about again briefly before I land is government agencies. They talk about.
Hello, Nambaka. Hello.
Okay, I'm gone.
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm still here. So when you give them cars, you discover that many of the times these cars are going on private business activities. You see a car carrying a child from North Bank to one school in Kansio. Before you use that car for something official, it becomes very minimal. So I want to encourage government agencies. And these cars are carrying big money in this country. If we are to buy food with those money, we buy cars in this country. Nobody will be protesting. No. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Welcome. We appreciate you for your concerns and also sharing the personal experience in your family with us. It's coming from you, so we accept it, but we don't encourage. Anyway, that's okay, Mrs. Yaji. I will allow you to react to the Balkans concerns briefly, but before you do that, the particular point I want you to react to, let's engage with more people that are still waiting on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Vincent Tako from Barasul, Wadata.
Okay, Vincent, welcome.
Thank you very much. My regards to your guest in the studio.
Yes, my guest is responding.
Please, I don't have much time. I just want to ask, why is it that Benin people are becoming more involved in this issue of child trafficking? Because the last time I spoke with their zonal manager, Gloria Iverimbai, and she was saying that Benin people are more involved and things like that. So, is it that we are the only poor people, or why are we a kind of involving in such kind of illegal business now? I just don't know. I don't know. Please, let her answer. Could it be poverty? Because we are not the only poor people in this Nigeria. Why are we involving in this kind of embarrassing business all the time? Benue people are prostitutes. Why?
Okay, Vincent, thank you. Thank you. All right. I will start with the concern by Balkan from what he mentioned that his own daughter was trafficked. He didn't put it whether it was trafficking or she went on her own violation. I don't know. But in such situations, is there any intervention from NAPTIP?
Well, when it happened, he did report. I think he handled it himself because if the child comes back, she needs to be counseled. Counseling is something we need to take it serious in this part of the country, because our children have been left alone for a very long time, and I'm sure he's even traumatized. That's why he just dropping it that way.
Let me interrupt you briefly. Hello, good morning. Unfortunately, we lost connection with the caller already, but please go ahead. Get traumatized.
Yes, because if your child goes and comes out with a child, of course you'll be traumatized because you have your child to take care of and the baby to take care of also. So we all need counseling. We need counseling to put things right, and we have professionals that are in place. We have professionals everywhere, not only NAPTIP, but we have a lot of NGOs that are doing so much on trauma and mental health awareness. And if he feels that he needs help, of course, he can come so that help can be given. And for the parts he said the government official cards are used to pick it, I don't think...
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Benjamin Sewasi. I'm calling from High Level, sir.
Benjamin, thank you for holding on.
Yes, thank you. Sir, I'm looking at the issue of child trafficking. I'm of the opinion that the parents has a role to play. Sometimes it's because of the negligence from the parents of checkmating the activities of their children that leads to this kind of menace in our society. Okay, I think as a parent you are supposed to know the kind of children that your own children are interacting with, both at school and at home. Like me, I'm an adult. But anytime that I stay out late and it's getting to 8 o'clock, my mother will start calling. Where are you? Why are you not coming home? So the parents should take cognizance of some of those things. I thank the NAPTIC. This has been a kind of an advocacy of trying to educate parents and prevention measures on this. The parents should be, they should also help our society. To me, they really have a very big role to play. That's my submission, sir.
Thank you for your submission. Thank you. Thank you very much. Benjamin Tewasi. Okay, you were defending an allegation about use of official cars, government vehicles by agencies. That it's an allegation. So maybe you want to put NAPTIP away from it.
I don't know if he sees any NAPTIP car carrying private child, anything private, please report. But I don't think NAPTIP drivers will do that.
All right. So you listened to Vincent Ako. We spoke to some of the factors earlier, but Vincent is worried that why is Benue becoming a flashpoint, being in the news for this again and again. But before you respond to Vincent, many persons are still waiting on the line, so let's engage with them a few before we come back. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you, sir. I am Agate Gabriel from Ojakwa Madoka.
Okay, good to have you join us, sir.
And my regards to the guests in the house. In fact, she has spoken much. When we were small children in primary school, the only trafficking in person that we learned about.
Hello, Gabriel.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay, when we were children in primary school, in the old days, about 1960 something, 68, 69, we were taught about slavery. Slave trade across the Atlantic and many other places to overseas around 1777 at the time of William Wilberforce. And those slave trade, the people they carry most are boys because they have plantation to work for them. So they carry boys those days. But in our days now, when those slavery was abolished, the government they turn to this time now it's on gears. I wonder why gears are traffic abroad. So like they are saying now, that it is even appalling for somebody to traffic in human being as if they are commodities or commodities. They are not articles of trade. Human beings are not articles of trade. Why should the human beings be traded upon? So our argument now is that let us be wise, and it is the parents, the most people that are most affected are the parents themselves, not the children, because it is this parent that the first approach. If you give me your child, I will take her into somebody who has work for them. When they are giving these children to these people, they not to care whether these people are good at all or bad. And when the children are trafficked about, they don't know what they are going to do there. They go there to suffer. So what we are Agate Radio is doing now is I thank Agate Radio for this awareness. Let people be aware of all these things. Let us be wise that the children cannot suffer most again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabriel Dachi. I appreciate you. Okay, let's start with the concern by Vincent Ako, and then we'll go to other issues. Gabriel also raised an issue that I would like us to do a follow-up. Vincent Ako is worried that Benue is in the news about issues of trafficking. are we the only poor state? Is it only poverty that is driving this?
I don't think Benue is poor. If we look down, deep down, we can make millions. The millions we're looking outside there will have to, is here. Those treasures are here in Benue. Um, the truth is, even me as a NAPTI staff, I'm overwhelmed by the situation of trafficking in persons activities in Benue because while I was working in Abuja, when they say Benue, I was like, no, if it's Benue, maybe it's like child labor. But now, all forms of trafficking are happening in Benue. Why? For us in NAPTIP, we have noticed that people come in here and demand for one child, and you see that people are giving them like 5 children to take away. So won't they come back? Of course they'll come back. So Benue is being a hub because we are available to give as many as we can to give to traffickers. So we should try and create this awareness that in Benue we have treasures, that if we hunt, we can be millionaires. Thank you.
Okay, so Vincent and every other person, but for me, I don't think Benue, up to now, we are not a poor state.
We are not. I said so.
Nobody should pride Benue as being a poor state. We don't bear that appellation. No matter the circumstances, the challenges we may have, we are still not a poor state. So far from it. But awareness is the hope that the issue will be addressed. A few messages before we come back. Good morning, guests in the house. I am Otsega Christopher Kate from Naka. I want to thank Mrs. Yaji so much for the awareness. I want to ask these questions. One, is there any particular number one needs to call if he or she suspects a case of child trafficking? Okay, sure, the number will be availed towards the end of the program. Two, is there no proper channel or protocol or documentation before a child is given out to someone, especially at the IDP camp? What is the penalty for child traffickers? We'll begin with number two. The number one will come to it at the end. What is there no proper protocol or channel or documentation before a child is given out to someone, especially at the IDP camp? Let's start with that.
For the IDP camps, Ben Seman is domiciled there and some other partners. So if you need a child, you must go through them, then the Ministry of Women Affairs. So you don't just go in there and pick up a child, just like that. You have to go through the processes and you have to go through Ben Sema. Then you have to conform with the Ministry of Women Affairs for the final documentation.
All right, so NAPTIP is not directly involved in that particular aspect. Yes. So, Kati, take note. Then, three, what is the penalty for child traffickers?
Oh, well, there are different offenses and punishments for traffickers. If any person who uses deception, coercion, debt, bondage, or any means whatsoever to induce any person under the age of 18 falls to seduce into illicit intercourse, commits an offense, and is liable on conviction to imprisonment for 10 years without any option of fine. That is one out of the many punishments.
Okay, so many. Okay, one. Beside that, are there any other one like beyond the punishment, the one you mentioned? Are there any others that you would like to also highlight?
Oh, yes, they are, but for now, this is what I can make available.
Okay. So, Kate, I hope your question is answered, and any other person who is interested in knowing the penalties. It's a punishable offense. The law prohibits it. It's a violation of fundamental human rights. But again, Gabriel Ondachi raised an issue. Is human trafficking becoming a modern day slavery or slave trade, so to say?
Human trafficking is is defined by a layman that is a modern day slavery. Of course, it's a modern day slavery. Because how can you carry your fellow human being, sell that person out, and then that person involves in hard labor that they will work in the cocoa farm, plantation farm from morning till night and will not eat. They will get sick. Like the other caller said, the brother got sick, but they couldn't bring him home until he was at the point, at the verge of not working at all, and they brought him and he didn't make it. A lot of them have died on the cocoa farm like that. So it's a modern day slavery.
Quite unfortunate. We need to tackle this modern day slavery. That is why we're here. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Oh, quite unfortunate. We lost connection with you. We'll try to call back. The line is still open. 0814-335-9292. 0814-335-9292. Several people have been trying. If you are not able to connect with us, send an SMS to 0912-699-9404. Hello, good morning. Hello. Oh, maybe it does appear there is a network glitch out there, but consistently we'll continue to try. Hello, good morning.
Is that not?
Yes, this is.
Anyway, just to ask, the last minister under Muhammadu Buhari will tell us, we were once a rich country, but now we are no longer rich. And you are saying Benue, it is strongly. Don't mind the farmland, though.
Okay. I'm so sorry. That's not directly the focus. We have to disconnect. That was just an aside. Our focus is on the issue of trafficking, not the poverty or otherwise status of Benue. That is not our subject. I'm sorry. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Meka Anyol from Northbank.
Okay, Meka Anyol, good to have you join us.
Yes, I congratulate NAPSI because of the job well done. In time like this, our children, especially the female schools, are being trafficked to different parts of the country, and they are being subjected to prostitution and other things, which is not healthy for this country and for the family. Now, there are some methods that they have devised now to carry children out of the state. Instead of going to the park, like the publicity have gone to the park, that so many of them are being trafficked through the park. Now they decide to get buses outside and park them outside the park and take them away. I think I have to say this, that the security agents and other people should do needful on the checking points and other places, because those checking points are where they carry these children to different parts of this country and even outside the country. So if they can check those areas, I think we can solve those problems that is happening within our trafficking children. Secondly, again, we have to caution parents, because so many.
Hello, Emeka Nyogo, are you there? Hello. Hello,
Reminding for all these Android phones. So I am of the opinion that our people, our parents should also stop reminding things they know that their children cannot get at this particular hour. So they should confine them to have skill jobs within them and monitor their children. Because when you subject a little child today to go out and get like other children, your mates are getting some, your mates are in overseas, your mates are in other places. You don't know where those children are, especially in those places. Some of them are dying in silence because they cannot labor and get something. So I am of the opinion that parents should do the needful. The security agents also should do the needful. The government also should penalize and prosecute these people. If it is to jail them for life, it should also be this thing. It should serve as an example to others, so that they cannot be using people anyhow.
Thank you.
Because if your own child, can you use that your child for those type of things? No, those people who does it cannot use their own children. So I am of the opinion that something should be done to those people who.
Thank you. You have stated your point quite elaborately, Meka Nyogo. We appreciate you for drawing attention to that. But again, earlier on we spoke about the engagement And in your engagement as NAPTIP, have you had any cause to engage with other security agencies like the police, the Civil Defense Corps, and even the quasi-security agencies with regards to sensitizing them and arresting this challenge of human trafficking?
I said earlier during my presentation that NAPTIP is not working alone. We are in partnership with all law enforcement agency, including the Nigerian Police, the Civil Security and Civil Defense, and the Nigerian Army also. And I also made mention that traffickers have derived new means now. Like he rightly said, they don't go to the parks again. I said it earlier on. And so he's on track. And then for us, yes, we partner with other law enforcement agencies.
All right. So the partnership, or has it yielded any form
Yes,
of
it
result?
does. It does. Any issue of human trafficking is being referred directly to NAPTIP. And capacity building for those in law enforcement agency by NAPTIP officials have been going on for some time now.
All right. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, the line is still open, 0814-335-9292. Send us an SMS, 0912-699-9404. We are gradually getting to the climax of the program, but let's take some few more calls, then we'll come back and try to.
Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, it's Benjamin Tewase from High Level.
Okay, Benjamin, speak briefly because this is your second time calling in.
You know, when we are talking about human trafficking, a lot of us people just refer it to as maybe children that are under 18 years. Some of those children, they are above 23, some of them up to 25. It's the conviction that those people taking them out, sometimes they will tell them that I want to go and give you a job, maybe abroad or something. When they take them there, it becomes something else. That is why I was saying that parents should be able to actually educate their children. They should be able to put sense into them that, look, these people that are taking you there, in fact, there is no need for someone to say to take you outside and give you a job. And sometimes this thing turns out to be a different thing. They will go there and they will be using their prostitutions and all that. So on the side of the parents, I'm still emphasizing on the side of the parents. Parents should try as much as possible to hide their own children. Thank you. That's my submission, sir.
Thank you. But our definition here did not specify that. We have not narrowed it to only children, or did we, Mrs. Yaji? So Benjamin is only stressing that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you. Welcome to Perspectives.
My name is Destiny. I'm calling from Akwe Road before Upnet.
Destiny who?
Tema.
Okay, Destiny Tema. We're listening to you. Speak to us.
Yeah. My own opinion on this child trafficking is that human trafficking, I mean to say, is that most cases where callers are blaming the silent, others are blaming or are advising the security to conscious. In other way around, security being conscious will not be okay in the sense our ladies then choose themselves not to do anything important to help themselves to be sexual workers. So whenever someone comes in case that I want to carry you out to work, they will be easily convinced without any other means. They will be easily convinced. For this case, the girls have mentioned means of using them to transport. He mentioned keke. I was one time a keke driver, and one of my colleagues, he usually told me that he do move from Makodi here, Adipo in the midnight to transport those girls from there to here in Makodi. Then the following day, they move at early as 4 a.m. Then they move. So in that case, and
They
do not move.
the Destiny Tema, they still move by keke?
No.
Okay,
Yes,
we are listening.
the other villages, they move to town with keke.
Okay.
But it do be in the night. You understand?
Yes.
It do be in the night. So in that case, where will the security will be sure of this what is happening, or the parents? It's the ladies that they choose themselves that they will do the sex work. So the parents should not be much blamed, and the security, although if the security come in case, they have to intervene. But our ladies, they did not choose to follow the right position. That is where they choose their life. So if they face such case, although if security be in the if security saw such situation, they have to intervene. But what I want you to understand is that it's our lady especially. So one caller says that Benue are most involved in such case. Not that we don't have anything hustling. We have, and we have the idea. But our ladies, we guys, we do try our best. But with our girls, most especially, they decide that is what they want to do.
No, that is not. They shouldn't be too general. You are only alleging some. If at all there is anything like that. But thank you all the same, Benjamin, Destiny, for calling.
It's okay. It's okay.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Okay, the point we'll speak. That will be our last call, by the way. That will take because our time is up. The point we will speak briefly on, as raised by Tema, is the means of transport. Imagine the exposition he just made. Someone conveying the suspected victims from Adigbo, that's in Kwande, in the dead of the night to Makudi, for them to be transported out. Are you aware of this kind of approach as NAPT?
I'm taking you back again because I mentioned the means they are used. I made mention of keke napep, and if you remember, I mentioned it. Yes, we are aware, and most times the vigilante group, when they arrest them, we partner with them. When they get them at that we are, they bring them to us or to the nearest police station or civil defense post.
All right, so these keke riders, the transporters in general, it does speaks to the concern that you need to also engage the keke riders on this same sensitization.
Yes, one good thing was that the SA on security, special advisor to the governor on security, organized the security town hall meeting, where all the keke napep and the iron condemn association, the bike and road transport workers converged in one hall, where we had a town hall meeting, and the zonal commander was there to sensitize them on this issue and to let them know that it is their people that have been convening these children, and if anyone is caught from now, it is going to be a very bad one on them, and they should report every case they see.
It's okay. Our time is no longer there, and I will just allow you to give your concluding thoughts and also provide us the numbers through which people can contact NAPTIP to report suspected cases and activities of suspected human traffickers.
Well, human trafficking is a human right violation. It's a modern day slavery that needs all hands to be on deck to curb these burdens, most especially for us here in Benue State. We should make sure that we reduce this menace to the barest minimum, involve all stakeholders, and trafficking is not just a NAPTIP thing, is a thing for all of us, and is a crisis right now. So we should all raise up to say no to human trafficking in Benue State and try to create awareness so that everyone will be aware of this inhuman act and the consequences to our state and also to the individuals who are involved. For NAPTIP to be reached, you can call us on our short code *627#. *627#. That's the short code. Once you press it, we'll know that yes, there's a case coming. And then we have a toll-free line, which is 0803 0000203. I'll say that again: 0803 0000203. Thank you for having me on this show.
Okay, and this is where we'll leave it on today's edition. And this program will be extended further tomorrow, being Thursday, People's Parliament, which is another flagship program of Agate Radio, comes up, and we take up a more extensive discussion to also bring on board other aspects that we are not able to capture on today's edition. So we hope that you will join on that edition as well, on that particular program as well, to gain more insights, maybe from victims, and also strategies on how to curb the situation. We appreciate the Public Relations Officer, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Makudi Zonal Command, Mrs. Tokwasi Yaji, for coming on Perspectives and sharing valuable insights with us. Thank you, Madam, for your time.
Thank you, Nat, for having me.
All right, dear listener, that's our program today. Join us on Friday for another edition of Perspectives. My name is Nathaniel Nongo. Have yourself a great Wednesday ahead, and please remember we need collective efforts to address the menace of human trafficking, which has been described as modern-day slavery. Stay safe, and God bless you. Goodbye. I'll see you on Friday.